This holiday season is hopefully the marker of what was a very difficult year for a lot of people. And so I have made it my mission to bring you vintage festivities. And I'm gonna start with Advent, an Advent calendar specifically. We'll talk a little bit about Advent and we'll talk about what that is historically, but we'll also learn how to make an Advent calendar because my channel is obviously the gift that just keeps on giving, right? If you are new here, then I'm Tara, and hopefully this will be the start of a beautiful relationship for both of us. I have a whole bunch of stuff here, and my goal was to not spend any money at all on this Advent calendar, and also, of course, to make it as adorable as possible. My Advent calendar is actually going to be 2 Advent calendars, one for myself and one for my husband. Usually we do the British thing where my mother-in-law sends us each an Advent calendar that is meant for 5-year-olds because we are obviously still children since we don't have children of our own. This year, however, Lawrence, of course, is not eating chocolate, so that makes having a chocolate Advent calendar a little bit harder. But also, I was thinking about what I wanted to do with my mantelpiece. While that is going to be a different video for Vlogmas, I wanted to put an Advent calendar up there. P.S. I also kind of love Christmas villages just a little bit, and I have had a little skating rink thing forever, and it's actually kind of broken. It's probably a little bit creepy if you play the music on it. I don't remember. But that said, it belongs in a Christmas village, and I don't have a Christmas village since this is by far and away the largest place we've ever lived in as adults. So this is going to be a new experience for me to be able to actually fully decorate a household in the way and the style that I would like to, starting with these Advent calendars. The last thing that I would like to mention before we get underway is that I am not the only one making an Advent calendar. Enter Vicky Bermudez.
Merry Christmas, ladies. Merry Christmas, Mr. Buble. Are you ready to sing a little jingle bells? Yeah! Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Vicky Bermudez is another YouTuber who is also making her own Advent calendar, and you should be able to see the video right after you watch mine. She does usually Disney-influenced vintage looks, and they are adorable. So go and check her out. And along those lines, we are doing not just Advent calendars, but Advent off. This means Christmas war. Here's what I have. So this is craft paper, and I usually use it, oh my gosh, it's really dusty. And what I do with craft paper usually is I make patterns out of it for clothing, but today it's going to be the outside of each of my little Advent houses. I also have cardstock, and it's in horrendous neon colors because it's a throwback from when I was a teacher. But what I am gonna do is I'm going to make some templates for a few different types of Advent houses that I could create using this cardstock. I have a whole lot of Elmer's glue, again, because former teacher, that I could use up as well. So we are not stuck for glue in this house. Now, in order to make the process of creating and folding the houses a little bit easier, I have a bone folder, and what this does is it has different little points that you can either turn out fabric with or you can fold paper with. You do not need one of these to do this. All you need is a flat object, maybe even like a ruler, in order to flatten out whatever it is that you're folding. But this is gonna make the process just that teeny bit easier. And scissors. Obviously, do not use fabric scissors for this because, oh my goodness, is that a no-no. But these are just regular craft scissors, and they are going to help me cut my materials. Now, my hope is that I'll have 50 little buildings that I can put on my snowscape, and half of them will be Lawrence's, half of them will be mine, but we are going to, I think, get started with this. Couple things. First off, I really don't like the color of these at all for this project, so I am going to make one type of building in each color, I think. Because remember, I'm going to need 48 in all 24 for each of us. So I figure if I make 5 different kinds, that'll be round up to 50, about 10 each. Gonna draw a straight line across. And then what we have to do in order to make this into a box is we need to divide this way in 4s. So I want these to be about the size of the pieces of paper, with the largest type being kind of like a storefront type building. So that one, of course, is going to have kind of a box look to it. And then the other ones will be various houses, I think. I'm going to once again draw 3 lines across to make 4 different areas. And at this point, I'm honestly just experimenting to see what kinds of shapes that I want. And then what I'll do is what's good about see-through rulers is that you can basically just see whether or not something is at a 45-degree angle just by looking at the opposite edge to whatever it is you're drawing from. And then if it lines up with the edge of the paper, then you know it's 45 degrees, which is nice. So now we're not gonna need all 4 of these. And I'm thinking that it probably will be best if we just cut basically 2 of them out, the longer ones, and then glue these ones. So I'll start there. This isn't gonna be perfect because honestly, I'm like hand cutting things that are not fabric for the first time in probably years, but that's kind of half the charm of them, isn't it? That they're completely homemade and I didn't spend any money to get where we are right now. It's just a really nice little situation. If you're interested in making the pink or the orange mid-century slanted roofed houses, then just a note that you'll want to make sure that you alternate between the boxed parts and the slanted parts. Also, make sure that the tab on top, in between those two slanted parts, is long enough to actually cover the entire house, because I had to fix that since I didn't realize that it was only covering half of it if it was the original template's length. Now that I have my templates ready to go, then I can get to tracing and cutting the actual houses out. Very exciting stuff. Look, I'm gonna be honest, by the time that I got to the point of folding all of these, it was really, really late at night and I had to go to bed. So the next day I continued on, and that's where we're gonna leave off today. I think I'll show you the rest of it tomorrow in part 2 and also tell you what I stuffed them with. The advent calendars, of course, are adult themed. I'm not talking like explicit or anything. However, the craft itself would probably make a good kid-friendly craft for you to even have your children make their own advent calendars. I know when I was a kid in the lead up to Christmas, we didn't really have advent calendars because I'm American, like a lot of you, by the way. When I put out a poll about this a couple of weeks ago, then you indicated to me that most of you didn't really have advent calendars growing up because you were American, and so you don't have them now. And it's the same with me. Who do you think did it better, Vicky or me? The way that you're going to vote is by donating to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So hopefully you will put your money where your thumbs up button is. Go over to Make-A-Wish Foundation. Link is in the description. Please make a donation, and then whoever gets the most donations in the lead up to the Christmas season will have officially won the Advent off. So Vicky, game on.